Gretel, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You made another and you was gone.
Welcome, everyone, to Squares of the Round Table podcast. There was Ivan. He's happy to sing for y'all this Thanksgiving week.
Yes, right. That's right. I'm happy to sing for you the praises of Hee-Haw. Yes, rest in peace, Roy Clark, who was the guy who, along with Buck Owens and a number of other great artists who had visited through the program, yes, made for delightful entertainment in its open and then in syndication for years on end.
And with us also is Jeff. I don't know if he's going to sing or not. We can.
No, I'm not going to sing, but I'm going to give everyone who has ever had depression some great advice to break that out. All you got to do is take a country record and play it backwards, because you're going to get your house back, your car back, your daughter back, your kids back, your dog,
getting out of prison.
You'll have alcohol. You'll have all of it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have younger women, faster horses, older whiskey, and more money.
Yep. That's how it works.
So that's a Tom Hall song, by the way, folks.
This being our Thanksgiving special this week.
So
we're thankful for you to listen.
Yes. We'd be even more thankful if more of you listened.
All right. Listen more.
Yeah.
You're not listening enough, but we appreciate it, though. So anyway, Ivan, how was your week?
Well, okay. My week.
What are you eating?
I'm sorry, you done chewing? Here, let me...
Good timing, Mike. Maybe we should go the other way around.
Well, I was having an orange, if that's okay.
Still eating. I don't care if it's healthy, it's still eating.
I'm still eating. All right. Anyway, be doing enough eating on Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so I figure I'd start ahead. Anyway, like I was saying. I was over at Electric Jungle doing the groovy thing and just taking care of my duties over there at the record store. Followed by Wednesday and Thursday over at my mom and dad's house. And then Thursday night, ended up going to the Cafe Mustache and emceed a group or two. Electric 9 were performing. A few of my friends from Cafe Mustache. My friend Drew, hey Drew, and of course Grayson, hey Grayson. We're playing in the band, and then there was a Detroit band called Tart, which was really good. So that made for some stellar entertainment. I put out some clips out on Facebook if they hadn't taken them down yet, but yeah, I think they're still out there. Friday was over at Mathers, doing my groovy thing over there, making the people dance, playing the oldie but goodies. And then, let's see, Saturday.
Were you out in John? Saturday? That's all right.
Saturday night's all right for fighting? No, I wasn't fighting anybody. But I did do my Sweet Soul Sunday yesterday, which was very well attended. It was a wonderful time. I had a few friends come over and playing some of that sweet, soulful music. That's right, where I get to slow everything down. Because usually when I'm out DJing, I'm spinning at all these, dancers' paces. I mean, just trying to, the house is on fire. Let's, do this till it burns, and, trying to keep everything.
But that was the roof is on fire, not the house.
Well, I don't know if the group or the house or it's one of them, but I managed to, entertain, and it was a good time, and everybody had a great time, and, a lot of people came, and that was good. Jules was with me, and a couple of people from, Mathers came by, hey, how you doing there, Marianne? And, so now I'm just, in the house here. Jules is taking care of her little guys over there at her church. She's a CDC teacher on Monday nights, and then I'm here, and I got done tossing out a whole lot of trash. And as I was talking to Mike earlier before we started the show, just doing this Feng Shui type of thing where it's like if I haven't used it in a number of years, it's got to go. And I'm noticing that
You mean Feng Shui?
Feng Shui.
Not Feng Shui. It's Feng Shui.
Feng Shui. I like Feng Shui better. I like Feng Shui better. That sounds good.
So you were just going through old stuff?
Yeah, just going through a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like looking at all my little metal cars, my little friction cars. I'm thinking, I got a lot of kids in this building that would really appreciate a bunch of little cars, so I'm thinking of letting all those little cars go. I got a bunch of little, 1.5 inch high, like, McDonald's toys I've like collected over the years, and thinking of maybe putting some, care packages together and leaving them in the doorways by where all the kids are in my building and stuff like that. Maybe do something kind of a Secret Santa thing. I don't know. It's just ideas going through my head at the time.
Maybe talk to the owners of the kid. These kids probably got owners. I mean, parents.
Well, they got they got owners.
They got owners.
They got lots of owners, Mike. Yeah, hey, I'll go ahead and I'll write
usually more than one.
Yeah. And give permission from the owners to go ahead and give toys to the children.
Permit me to request something to the owner of this child.
Yeah, give me your email. I need to request something from the owner of this child. Let's see. And then I tossed out today about 10 bags of garbage.
Wow.
Just all manner of stuff. Plus, Evil Bay has got a hold of me, folks. I need you guys to help me. Okay?
What's wrong?
Because Evil Bay has started to become a little bit compulsive. Because I go on, when I'm here alone, and I start to go to the Facebook, and then I start going to the Instagram, and then next thing you know, it's like I'll see somebody playing a record on Instagram. I'm like, what is that? Click, listen to the record. I'm like, ooh, that record sounds good. Okay, and then next thing you know, it's like, well, I'll wait to go to the Electric Jungle and see if it comes up there. And then if I don't find it there, and it's kind of like, and then I'll go on eBay. You know how they have you watch, if you put a watch on something, they hold on to it for you for a little bit?
Uh-huh.
And then I went back to Evil Bay today and found that I have got about 40 items I've got to watch on. And I'm like, this is bad. This is really, really bad.
It's window shopping. That's all it is. So long as you don't click that buy it now, you're good.
Yeah. Or unclick the watch thing.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I mean, it's like, you know what I'm doing? I'm like, I'll see a label, say for example, okay, Hanna-Barbera Records. Okay, yes, you guys will laugh, but believe it or not, Hanna-Barbera Records in the 60s was actually a kick-ass label. It had a really lot of great artists on that label, especially soul and rhythm and blues records. It's amazing. So I was listening to Solera 5150, and she had played this copy of Tell It Like It Was, which was kind of an answer record to the Aaron Neville hit record of 1967, Tell It Like It Is. I'd never heard it before, and it grabbed me by the badonga, and I was just like, oh my gosh, wow. So I decided to go on eBay, and there it was. There it was in all of its glory.
And how much was it? How much were they asking?
They were asking $7.99 plus free shipping. And I'm thinking, yeah, why not?
$8, that's like a meal.
Right. So I figured that was good. But then you know how you go down, they say, check out the seller's other records? Bad move. Because then I went down and saw other things that I was wanting to have. And before I realized it, I've clicked down and have bought, somewhere in the vicinity of like $60 worth of records. And I'm just like, oh my God, what have I done? But the delightful part about it is this isn't something that I do on the regular. This is just like a relatively new thing for me. But I can see how people can easily get swept up in the buying frenzy and the click and the ease of having just something you want click and then it's just mailed to you. It's that could be very dangerous.
Yeah. Yes, again. Especially considering that you're always looking for new stuff and new albums and all that stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put down the eBay. Put it down.
Okay, I will take the app off my phone and will dismantle it.
Yeah. Ivan needs another vinyl record like I need another plastic robot.
Yeah, you understand what I mean,
oh, yeah.
Mike. I mean, because it's and the temptation is just you start choosing your battles. It's kind of like, well, oil change, new album.
No.
New tires, new album. You know, I think I could go without breakfast for a week. Why not? Pull the trigger. You know, you're like, oh no.
You're not really giving up toilet paper so you can buy an album, are you?
No, I'm not giving up toilet paper for the album.
Well,
I mean,
if the record comes in a sleeve, then you'll be good for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. At least I could get at least one good wipe before.
Does it come in a bag? Does it come in a bag? As long as the bag is paper, you're good.
As long as the bag is paper, I'm wiping. Got it. Yeah, so the evils of Evil Bay and how one can easily get consumed with it. And to a record collector, and I'm sure to all collectors out there who have probably had the very same plight that I have, with making the big decision, should I take your girlfriend out for a date? Or can I get the Fortress Maximus for $200, mint and seal box?
Right.
That seems like a no-brainer. I take the girlfriend out on the date.
And bring Fortress Maximus with you, too, on the date.
There you go. Yeah.
Just put him, I'm sure he'll fit in a child's seat.
See, I guess, here's the thing. This is the part I don't get, and this is the part I kind of laugh about, is the part where you say that, and the only thing I keep thinking is that obviously, I don't want to say this out. Well, screw it. We're already halfway there. Which is,
sorry.
Which is,
Ivan, you okay?
Yeah, don't die.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Record?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
Record, chance for sex. Record, chance for sex. Chance for sex. When the record wins, you got a problem, my friend.
Well, that all depends.
Whoa. Stop right there. There is no well. That's your first problem.
No, there is. Okay.
There really isn't.
Well, yeah, there is, Jeff. I mean, not to say that sex isn't a wonderful thing. Sex is a wonderful thing, I mean, yeah. I mean, not saying that, people can't do without it. Okay, I get it. But then it also depends on your point in life and where in the point in your life you're at.
Oh, you need the blue pill then.
What?
You need the blue pill.
No, I'm not talking about that. No. I'm not talking about dysfunction. I'm talking about, when...
No, not funk. We're not talking about funk. That's not a problem at that point. If you got the funk, you don't need the blue pill.
That's right. Well, I got the funk still.
Okay.
I do get the funk, but I don't have the drive I once had. So it's not like I have the need, like every waking moment of my life to procreate, or anything like that. So I can go, yeah, I can do the funky thing. And then, I can
maybe again in a few weeks or a few months.
Right, exactly. And then I can do the funky thing, and I can find me another album. I haven't gotten to the point where the funky thing comes second to the records. No, I have not gotten.
We seem to have hit something that scares me. That sex comes after the records, and that's bad. Unless you're using the records, but that's a really small hole.
It could be. Oh.
Well, actually, the 45 hole measures a full 2 inches across.
Why do you know that?
Because I'm a dirty bird. That's why.
You know. Oh, man, now I have a mental image I don't want. Oh, that's that.
I kid.
Whoa, wait, now I gotta get rid of it. Hold on, how do I get rid of that?
Okay, go
naked. Okay, I'm
Think
good.
about the robots. Robots.
No, not
No,
robots.
not sex robots. We're going right to that already in the show.
Robots.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why they call them robots in disguise.
Oh, see, I didn't even go there, Mike. See?
You let me right there. You let me to the doorstep. I'm sorry.
I've met some fans who probably wouldn't laugh at that just because it'd be true to them.
I know.
It'd be gross. You've seen some saucy fan art. There's a Rule 34, and he'd say no more.
Yeah.
So, okay,
we'll pop the balloon in that.
So how you doing, Jeff? How was your week?
How was my weekend? What did I do this weekend? Jeez, what did I do? Oh, I gamed. That's what I did. I got to go out to Buttonman Gaming out in St. Charles and got a chance to do some Star Wars RPG on Saturday, which was really, really cool. You know, kind of got a chance to play some D6 Star Wars. It was neat. Got to shoot some stormtroopers. Got to do some fun stuff. And then Sunday night was me with Speaking Professionals, so I was working on a rough draft of my 45-minute presentation that I'm going to be doing on enhancing evaluations for Toastmasters for District 30 on December 1st out at the Northwest Marriott in Hoffman Estates. So I was working on that, and I kind of just watched football most of the day and worked on that on Sunday. So really, in reality, that was kind of my weekend. It's funny. I'm going to end up gaming this weekend too. I think by the time we air this, it'll be up. But the WolfCon Game Fair is going to be over in Rosemont. It's a smaller convention. It's people I know, but it's been around, and they usually do the holiday weekend. The nice part about it is, you know, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, you know, it gives you the option to start on Friday rather than wait till Saturday. So it's if I want to be on there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So very cool.
Okay.
And again, you can look that up online if you go to Warhorn. I think it's .net or .com. I can't remember. You can look up WolfCon. You can see it for the weekend.
Yeah, every Thanksgiving weekend, there's always that one in St. Charles I never go to.
I don't know about that one. I will.
Pop culture.
To investigate, no?
It's the pop culture one.
Oh, I don't know about that. I will admit that on my way back from, that Sonic is just too irresistible on the way back home. Because we don't have Sonic around in the Chicago area, or at least nearby where I'm at. So I'm always kind of like, oh, I should. No. But I stopped. You know, it's one of those where I think I still have that fascination of like, all right, I want to like check out certain fast food places that I still haven't gotten to. Like I still haven't gotten to like In-N-Out Burger, or some of those like that. But
I've been to Five Guys. Five
Guys eventually I got to. I gotta be honest with Five Guys. I wasn't thrilled with the burger, but the fries are really, really good.
I agree.
That's my opinion. I know there are a lot of people who are like, oh, Five Guys, phenomenal. I think it's, I don't know, it just seems pricey for what you could.
I like Red Robin though. That is really pretty good.
Yeah, that's a different.
That's a sit down. That's not.
It's not fast food.
What you'd call like fast food.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but all right. Let me get the difference between what you would mean by fast food and by sit down. I mean, most of these places you got a drive-by window.
Yeah, or I know you can get like Chili's to go, but
right, yeah, I mean
doesn't have a family window.
No, they don't. No, so I guess that would make it a sit. That would make it a sit down.
Yes, we're defining it for you. If it doesn't have a fast food window, it is a sit down.
Either that, or it has an app where you can order it and pick it up.
No, because McDonald's has one.
Yeah,
McDonald's has an app now too. Yeah, you can.
Not to mention Uber does delivery for them now too.
Oh my God, Taco Bell now you can get delivered.
Yeah, most everything in the city now here, since the advent of Uber Eats, and Grubhub, which, by the way, if I had a choice between Uber Eats and Grubhub, I would go with Uber Eats because Grubhub, they just tend to fuck a lot of stuff up. So, if I had a choice between the two, do Uber Eats. Uber Eats is very dependable. And most everything here in the city is accessible through Grubhub or Uber Eats. It's really something. Like, 7-Eleven even has delivery now.
Yeah, well.
Sign of the times. This age we live in.
Well, it just goes back to the whole sensibility of click, point, and get it delivered, and you don't have to, you don't have to leave it. You don't have to leave your house. I mean,
pretty much will be like those people in their chairs in Wall-E.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We're getting close to that.
There's a sobering thought.
Pizza in a cup.
God, pizza.
Time for lunch in a cup.
Yeah, in a cup. Everything in a cup. Can you imagine having to live on something that's like the equivalent of Carnation breakfast every day?
Yes. Yes, I've watched that. I've seen that. It's depressing when I watch the nursing home. And they go, here's your steak, and it's in a cup.
Steak in a cup.
Yep.
Ground steak. Oh.
You know what scares me? At some point, that could be us.
Well, I mean, wasn't it for a while there that NASA they had the food that was used in all their missions and everything. They tried to pass off some of it, for consumer consumption at one point a number of years ago.
I don't know.
Something that just came to my mind that candy. I don't know, Mike. Remember? I don't know. I think.
I just remember that Tang, and that shit was awful.
Yeah, Tang was nasty. Yeah, that's I don't know if it was our friend Matt Warsaki. He used to get you those cubes, like they were some kind of space candy or some kind of
space candy. No.
I know what he's talking about, like the freeze dried ice cream and crap.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
No, it was sponge candy. It wasn't like space candy.
I thought it was like some kind of crazy space candy.
No, okay, it's just a exotic confectionery.
Oh, so it's sponge candy.
It wasn't like space candy.
I thought it was like some kind of space thing that I guess.
No.
All right. I mean,
there's a
forgive the memories of an older man here.
There's a place out by Lake Zurich, I think, that has it. I haven't had it in a while.
I remember it being very good.
Yeah, it was all right. It was good. So you just did some gaming? Yeah. This is over the weekend, Jeff.
Now, what did you do, Mike?
Yeah.
Got the snowblower ready for the winter, ready to go. Put the lawnmower away, got the snowblower out. It's that time of year. We've had a couple of showers. Actually, it's Thursday morning. We got hit with some snow, and I had to engage the four-wheel drive just to get to work. It's just right at that point where it's like 1 to 2 inches of snow, and the plows hadn't come through yet. And this one hill I had to get over. I was like, oh, crap. The winter's just about here, so I'm going to get the leaves done. Had a bad experience at a major home improvement retailer Wednesday. No, I'm not going to give the name of this place because obviously they're not advertisers. But, man, the dude was just in a bad mood. The cashiers were nice when I got out. But, man, I needed some lumber cut to make a shelving unit. And, yeah, the dude was just rude. Like, man.
The guy was just splintered? Is that what you're telling us?
He had a thorn somewhere. I don't know. I didn't bother to ask him where.
I got a pretty good idea.
What else? I watched the Kevin Smith Silent but Deadly. Rented that. It was only $3.99 to rent it. I watched it. It was entertaining. It was cool. It was good storytelling. Funny about how he got Jay Muse on The Flash. I just wanted to know the significance of this could have been the last thing that Kevin Smith ever did because, a couple hours after he recorded this special, he had his massive heart attack. He almost died in this little waiting room.
I respect Kevin Smith. I've always enjoyed his movies. There's a part of me, though, where I'm like, I'm kind of tired of his geek cred. I think he gets a little too much credit on the geek cred from the geek community. And I just get tired of it after a while, especially on his podcast. There have been times where he'll spoil an entire TV show or movie just because he feels like talking about it, and he doesn't tell you that there's going to be spoilers.
Oh yeah.
He'll do that a lot, and then really, I know some people like the Comic Book Men show. I just wasn't.
Yeah, I watched only a couple episodes in the first season, and I never watched it. And I think the show went 7 seasons.
Yeah,
but it's just like, I've seen this formula before because my dad used to watch a lot of the Pawn Stars and American Pickers. Yeah. It's that same formula, but it's also interspersed with just Kevin talking with his friends and fun conversations like that. But it was good. But in typical Kevin fashion, it gets a little raunchy, but quite the pot smoker.
Well, here's Ivan throwing a Molotov cocktail into the whole situation about Venom being more popular than any of the X-Men. I just read about.
Well, not being more popular, just grossing more money. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, wow.
We'll get to that. It was Friday. Went to a friend's house and watched the first 3 episodes of Titans on DC Universe.
Oh, I'm curious. As a long-time, big-time Titans fan, I am very curious to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Me too.
It certainly placates to the current Marvel Netflix formula, where it's dark, it's drab cinematography. And although it's only 3 episodes in, and each episode is like 50 minutes, so it's the same kind of TV formula in that sense, where the episodes are about that long. But it's violent, and they drop a couple of F-bombs and a couple S-bombs here and there. But you just got to go in with an open mind. It's not trash. But the jury's still out on it. I'm going to watch a few episodes and see how it goes, but we don't see much of Beast Boy yet. And the first 3 episodes have focused mainly on Raven and what how can I say this right? On Raven's uncontrolled powers yet. They're still her powers are still quite raw as far as channeling what's, obviously her parentage and all that, more of that. And a little bit more about Dick Grayson. And interspersed with just a little bit of Starfire. I still don't like the hair. The hair is quite the distraction.
Is it?
For me, it is. The hair, it just looks like a bad wig.
See, there's a part of me where it's like, that's the comic book as a kid I grew up on. I mean, we're talking about early 80s. I was just getting into junior high, and all my friends were really kind of reading the X-Men. I wasn't the guy who was reading the X-Men. The Teen Titans was the book. I mean, that was the book. If you were a DC fan and you were a kid, that was the book you were reading at the beginning of the 80s. That was the hot book. Before, and it was funny because at one point it was outselling Batman. Okay? Yeah. Before they finally figured out how to make Batman a big seller again. But at one point, you know what it was? Once the movie hit in the late 80s, then Batman became a big seller again. But for a while, that's the reason they were able to do some of the stuff they were able to do with Dick Grayson, where he eventually became Nightwing, is because the Bat offices didn't have anything for him to do, didn't really feel like holding on to him. And the funny part was, the Titans book was more popular than the Batman books at that moment.
Yeah.
So really, in reality, they were willing to let them do things with Dick Grayson that might not have done at any other time, because at that point, Dick Grayson was basically the anchor character to their most popular book. So,
I came in on the Titans through the series in the night.
The animated series, yeah. A lot of people did. And if you did, then you will be, well, let's just say it's a hard reboot, and there's some things in it, like I said, there's some things that are pretty cool, and it got a couple laughs for me, not just because his name is Dick. I'm like, yeah, they only pulled that card twice, and at least in the 3 episodes I've had in. But there's one fight scene where Robin's gone hardcore, and he's really beating the crap out of people, and he uses a staff. And my friend was like, wait, no, that's a Jason Todd thing, using a staff.
It's not even a Jason Todd thing, it's a Tim Drake thing.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Well, the staff thing was also used in the animation series.
Right.
Too.
Basically what happened...
Robin used the staff in the... in the
cartoon, yeah.
Okay, well, that's came.
So basically in the comics, Jason Todd wore the same thing as Dick Grayson. But when they went to the third Robin, which was Tim Drake, who ironically, in some ways, from a comic book perspective, Tim Drake was probably the most successful Robin because it was the first time that you actually had miniseries just with Robin. And at that point, then they went to a regular Robin monthly book under Tim Drake. And they had never done that with Jason Todd. They had never done it with Dick Grayson. God knows why. It doesn't even make sense why they never did it with Dick Grayson. That's just silly. I won't even get into the thought that they never ever imagined why you wouldn't do that. That's just, he's one of the most popular, most well-known characters in all DC Comics. And at no point did you ever sit there and think, hey, what if we did a separate Robin comic? It's like...
Well, I think also, too, the mindset of the sidekick actually going out and getting his own book, I don't think that was realized, in a lot of it,
Well, and that's the part...
Because everybody would think of Batman and Robin, but nobody would ever thought of just Robin, going out there and just doing his groovy thing, Not until, that particular book.
Well, but here's the thing, Ivan. Here's the part I laugh about.
What's
in
that?
retrospect, one of the things that made Robin popular was what? Kids.
Well, yeah.
They could relate to Robin. And the funny part is that at the time when they were selling all this stuff, comic books were more for kids. It was more of a for kids kind of medium, and it was simpler.
Well, that was the demographic, wasn't it?
Right.
That's just how the stories were told back then.
Right. Well, and the other thing is it's funny because even in the 60s, why did they never think of it? Because really, in reality, that's what part of Spider-Man's popularity was from the 60s was, oh, he's a teenage kid just like me. Well, okay. That makes more sense. That's not to say people of other ages didn't read it. But the point I was trying to
the people who were interested in it were the majority were children or not children,
but
preteens and things.
To get back to the point, Tim Drake, who was the Robin, that Robin, which is the third official Robin, well, technically could be considered 4, but in continuity, that's considered number 3, and that's when they made some serious wholesale changes to where they finally put Robin in long pants. And the costume that you see in Titans, the costume that you see now that Robin wears with the bolo stick, and all that stuff, that's where all that came from. It didn't come from Jason Todd, and it didn't come from Dick Grayson. It's just funny that they adapted that look even to Dick Grayson, at some point when they went to go back to do the cartoons.
Well, I think maybe they're just trying to upgrade the look, and that was probably the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I said, there's some parts of it that they're just kind of cool. Other parts, there was a bad CG scene where Dick Grayson jumps out of a window and does like a trapeze kind of thing down these trees. It was just bad CG, man. But that and they won't show Bruce Wayne or Alfred. And that gets a little jarring, a little annoying for me. I know this is not a Batman or story, but when you're dealing with Dick Grayson's origins, yes, you should have at least someone there as Alfred. They're just voices in the background. There's one scene where Dick Grayson had stolen Bruce's Porsche and went for a little ride and got arrested because he was speeding. So he's in with the caseworker, and Bruce is behind the glass. You only see the back of his head. I was like, just have someone be Bruce. I mean, doesn't he have to be Batman? Just that someone is Bruce. But so, yeah, I said jury's out. I'll watch more of Titans, and hopefully it'll get better. But it's just meh for me.
Hey, Mike, just a question. Okay, you said it was kind of dark and foreboding and all that. Was it kind of noir in its presentation?
Just drab. Just
the whole color palette is kind of just kind of washed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Like I said. It feels like it seems like they're just aping Marvel Netflix.
Okay. It does. Okay. Does it have a look like Batman Arkham? That type of a look?
No, it's not gothic. It's not just drab.
It's just dark.
Yeah.
Even if you've never seen the Marvel Netflix shows, they're just everything's at night. Nothing happens during the day. If there is daytime, it's all kind of washed out. It doesn't. It's very, how basically it's
all cool color palettes.
It's just opaque in its design. Okay.
There's no warmth to any of the scenes in the outside if it is daytime.
I would probably get around to watching it at some point, but just based on what you're talking about, to me, like, for example, look, if you're not going to get access to Batman and you're not going to get access to a lot of that stuff, why not just start him out? Why not just basically, there are other ways you could do Robin without touching that. And the part that you tell me that, the way I understood from some of the things I read, it could take them all season to finally get the whole team together. And I'm like, why do I want to watch that?
Yeah, by the end of season 3, Raven met Beast Boy. We've seen Beast Boy a grand total like 6 minutes out of like these.
You mean episode 3, not season
episode 3? Yeah.
So we're looking at a season-long character build.
It's just a long arc interspersed with some origin style exposition a la flashbacks.
Okay. So
it's okay so far. Like I said, I'll keep it.
Judging from what you're saying, that season 1 where, based on what you just said and everything, it's going to kind of be elongated to just probably a lot of character build, a lot of things that, are only going to come but very, very slowly and almost too intensely.
Well, we'll see. Like
it sounds like they're like almost building for the trade, kind of. Like they're just kind of, I'll probably see it. Out of curiosity, Mike, can you give us any clue on villains the first 3 episodes, or there really aren't any?
Just these, not without giving out major spoilers, but obviously because of Raven and who she is, there's this cult that has prophesized the end of the world, so they need to make sure that Raven doesn't live.
Okay. So basically they're going straight into the Trigon thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they haven't said the name yet, but
that's the direction that I think they're going.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Did they touch on Brother Blood at all with that cult, or is it just basically, like, do they have, like, anything where it could be a Brother Blood related towards it, or no?
Maybe they haven't dropped that name yet.
Okay.
But
see, that's the other part I'm curious about. That's the other part I'm curious about, Mike, is there were so many, Arrow used so many Titans characters in terms of heroes and villains that I'm like, don't get me wrong, you still have a few left that you can use, but I'm like, okay, you've lost some of the bigger ones. I don't know. I'm curious if they're going to be able to bring Deathstroke back after the fact that he's been in Arrow all this time. I'm curious if, Brother Blood showed up in Arrow. They just did an entire thing with Vigilante. Okay. They did, Damien Dark. Damien Dark is a Titans villain. Hive was a Titans villain. I'm like sitting here, I'm like,
does Slade play into that too?
That's Deathstroke.
Right. Slade is Deathstroke.
Okay. I didn't know that the two were one and the same.
Slade has been a big part of the Arrow show for a while. So I'm kind of like, okay. I know that they're not going to have anything with Roy Harper because Roy Harper is in Arrow. So I'm assuming that that's totally not going to get touched. So we won't see, I don't expect that we'll see Roy Harper anytime soon in that Titans show. But I'm curious to see, because there's not too, once you, I mean, there are some villains that are Titans villains, like Trigon, and I know the Brotherhood of Evil is involved because they've talked about the fact about the Doom Patrol, which is, you know, the Brain and Monsieur Mala. I know those are villains that they've got coming up, and that's this season, because that's the backdoor pilot for Doom Patrol. But, you know, I mean, those are kind of the two, you know, the only other one would be the Fearsome Five that they haven't used, in the Wildebeest Society. But, yeah, like I said, I'm somebody who read Titans comics, and I just have this feeling that I'm not going to be
It might take you a while to get into it, then.
I wasn't happy with the cartoon necessarily. And when I say that, I'm not talking about Titans Go. I'm talking about the other one. I wasn't happy about that either. You know, and I was a little disappointed by the Judas Contract cartoon too. It's still the closest thing I've seen to a real Titans, but wasn't happy with that either. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'll wait a little while.
Just got to go in with an open mind and.
That's not happening. That's not happening. I'll tell you right now, that is not happening.
Well, then maybe this isn't for you, but
probably not. Which is
I mean, when the animation series was on, I liked the animation series. That was something me and Soraya shared through the 2000s when that was.
Well, that's cool.
Released, and that was really good. But after they got dumbed down by Cartoon Network and everything, and it kind of lost me there for a bit. Although I heard that the movie made some money.
Yeah, and I think they're talking about trying to bring back the version that you're talking about in terms of cartoons. They've talked about that too now. It's funny, because I shouldn't complain too much, because one of the people who wrote that cartoon at times was Marv Wolfman, who wrote the original Titans books.
Okay.
That version. But, yeah, I hate to say it. It took me a long time to come around on that cartoon too. Like I said, I'm one of the people who read it as a kid. I'm one of those people like like an X-Men fan when it comes to their stuff and they get all mad about everything. Yep, what do you mean I'm a Titans snob? Yeah. I'll admit it. You're ruining my favorite. You guys suck. That's all I'll just leave it there.
Well, look what Michael Bay did to my favorite.
I know. That's what I mean.
Slice and dice.
You just gotta take what you like out of it, and the rest you can just throw away. So, no. I said once I get more into it, I'll get a more defined opinion. But right now, it's slow going, but it's violent, and it seems like just made through the lens of catering to the Marvel Netflix people.
Ugh, that's too bad. And that's well. On a side note, the crossover, the CW show's crossover, is coming up on December 9th. I have seen they've teased a few commercials for it. Gotta say, excited.
Okay.
It's only gonna be in Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl, is my understanding. So Legends of Tomorrow will not be involved, and then Black Lightning's totally not involved. They're not even a part of any of that. But it's going to be interesting because that's where that's going to be an interesting thing because you've got included in that what they're calling as Elseworlds. Included in that, they're bringing the guy who played Superman and Supergirl. They're bringing in somebody to play Lois Lane, and that's where they're going to have the Batwoman show up.
Yeah,
going into a backdoor pilot. I've seen bits and pieces. It looks interesting. I think the most interesting part, and this isn't spoilers because it's out there, but apparently at some point, Barry Allen and somehow is the Green Lantern. Okay, I'm not the Green Lantern, the Green Arrow, and Oliver Queen is somehow the Flash. And they've swapped power sets, which is kind of weird. I don't know, kind of weird.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that final trailer for Aquaman yet.
Oh, looks good. Like I said, but yeah, I think Yeah, I guess I'll stick to the CW.
Yeah, okay, that's in its own little world, so.
Yeah.
And you're invested enough, so.
I'll stick to that. I'll tell you, the other show that I will say, I've not been a fan of the Gotham show, but I saw a little bit of the trailer for the final season, where I guess they're finally going to bring in Batman. That looked actually kind of interesting.
Who's the actor that plays the young Bruce Wayne in that?
I can't remember his name.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. But how many seasons has Gotham gone on? Like 3, 4?
No, it's more than that.
Yeah?
It's more than that. Hold on. Let's see if we can find what season number are we on, he said. We're going to be on season 5.
Okay. Season 5 is the last season for
Gotham?
Okay.
Season 5 is going to be the last season. And David Mazouz is the kid who's playing Bruce Wayne.
But he's not a kid anymore.
Well, yeah, he's gotten older.
Yeah. After 5 seasons, that's almost like, look at how Daniel Radcliffe grew up after 8 or 9 Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. I will say I have been watching The Gifted on Fox. Now there's an example of where my X-Men friends are all annoyed by that show because there's a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense at certain points.
It's X-Men, but not quite.
Well, it's not even. It's like some sort of future version where the X-Men are missing or gone, and there's all kinds of weird stuff. And I've heard certain friends of mine who are like, ugh. But it is an interesting show. It's been fun. But again, I'm fortunate that I've never given enough of a rat's ass about the X-Men to care that much. Thank God.
So, Ivan, you teased an article about Venom.
Yes, I did. And that was the fact that the article stated that Venom made more money than the X-Men franchise. Now, I know that, we all spoke about Venom on a ways back and how some of us kind of felt about it and everything. Okay, now in light of this new news, how do you feel about it?
I don't know, Ivan. I will eat your head.
He's eating money, apparently.
I will eat your money and your head.
So, despite the fact that Venom being what it is, and though it's still making money, and how, for the most part, a lot of it just got dismissed, really.
Is it the international box office that's killing it? Is that it? Is that worth making all this cash?
It's making money in China. It has made 800 million world. I'm looking at the article now. It's made as of when we're recording. It's made 800 million worldwide. It's not that it's all of the X-Men movies. It's basically any X-Men release, including Deadpool. And they're even saying maybe even more than Sam Raimi's original blockbuster Spider-Man.
So it's the highest grossing Fox superhero film.
No, it's Sony.
Sony's, that's right.
Sony.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's funny. Here's the commentary from the article, which is, so what does it tell us about Venom's success? Never underestimate the power of a strong brand because it often supersedes other factors. The character is an icon to comic readers who grew up in the 90s, but his appeal translates way beyond the usual comic book base. He has become a symbol of an anti-hero for the past 25 years on t-shirts, basketball jerseys, and various other merch. Many folks have never picked up a comic book in their lives or were aware of Venom and translated into box office dollars.
So based upon the fact that Venom lives on in the merch, along with its publication and media success, I guess all of it just kind of lumps together for this whole thing, and that's astounding because for what I think what I know, most comic, most hero merch and such. I mean, is there anything else that comes close to that?
Well, I'm gonna.
Does Captain America's merch get anywhere near that? Does Spider-Man?
No, I don't think they mean it that way. I think they just mean that Venom is a well-known
Brand.
Venom is a well-known brand name in terms of the fact that basically Venom is well-known because Spider-Man is one of the most well-known superheroes. So obviously, when you're talking about villains, yes, Venom is a well-known villain and has become on the level of Spider-Man villains of the likes of, say, Dr. Octopus, the Green Goblin. The difference is that Venom has been somebody where he hasn't always just necessarily been a villain. And I think that is kind of, that's kind of where the difference is. And there are other characters that fall into similar type areas like this. I just think there's a few things here, which is, at least in my opinion, and I'll throw it to, obviously I'm curious Mike's take, but just for some background from comic perspective. So Venom technically, this story started out as part of one of the most iconic mini-series or maxi-series in the history of Marvel Comics, which is Secret Wars. And the basics behind Secret Wars was that they had gotten word that DC was doing this huge, massive crossover called Crisis on Infinite Earths. And doing so, Marvel thought, oh crap, we need to have something like this very similar. So they came up with this entire concept of Secret Wars. And ironically, they came up with it fast enough that they beat DC to the market with Secret Wars before Crisis of Infinite Earths. So the long and the short of it is, there were certain things that they did with Secret Wars, which was, once Secret Wars hit, they advanced all the books from after Secret Wars. So they did a lot of crazy things that nobody understood, and the comment was, well, you'll have to buy Secret Wars to find out how that happened. And one of the things was Spider-Man was in this crazy, totally black outfit that was absolutely kick-ass. I mean, it looked incredible. And, as a kid, you're like, whoa, that's cool. Okay? They did their homework. They picked the right colors. They made it look cool, and people were all over it. Later on, it became, in a story that they did, it took a few years to get there, but the story that they did was it was a symbiote.
The black suit came from outer space.
Because the black suit came from outer space, because during Secret Wars, what happened was Spider-Man's suit got ripped, so he went to go try to find a place to make a new costume, and he used this machine, and there was this black ball, and the next thing you know, it's on him, and he thought it was just a costume. It was not just a costume, it was alive. And essentially was a symbiote. For a while, once they figured this out, for a while it's in the Baxter Building. At one point, there's this Web of Spider-Man #1, which Web of Spider-Man no longer exists, but there's an entire story of it getting out and escaping and finding Spider-Man. It wasn't until a little while after that they went with this whole Eddie Brock thing. And it's pretty ingenious and it makes sense. They did some really good storytelling with it too, which is because nobody realized it. And, they did an entire thing where Mary Jane got brutalized by Venom because she thought it was Peter Parker. The other part that was cool about Venom was, well, Venom has the teeth and all that stuff and that look. The other part about Venom too is that, okay, he's immune to Peter's spider sense, which means you never know. And oh, by the way, Venom and Eddie Brock know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Okay? That makes him incredibly dangerous. The look and beside all that, and then really in reality, in the 90s, you had the cartoon. And those kids have grown up. And they saw
the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, yeah.
Right, from that Fox cartoon and some of that stuff. So really in reality, Venom has been around
a long time.
It's just, I think it's now people are ready for it. And yeah, I guess Venom has enough brand recognition that I'm kind of shocked. I really am. I saw the movie. I don't think it was any good. Now it's funny. I have people who are fighting with me on Facebook that they're like, oh, it's better than Justice League. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I had somebody tell me they thought it was better than Suicide Squad. I don't think so about that either.
Well, yeah. See, that's why I was intrigued at the whole thing once I read what I read about that, and just indulge me for a second. Uh-huh. I mean, because Venom at one point wasn't wasn't Venom and Spider-Man, I mean, weren't they friends at one point? I mean,
They have been at points.
I mean, because I just get the feeling that Venom is this neutral, evil type of person in Peter Parker's life. So
no,
He's not neutral.
He's not neutral. Venom kind of comes and goes. Venom sometimes is against Spider-Man. There have been times where Venom is on Spider-Man's side. It also kind of depends on certain other things. The other thing is someone got the bright idea going, hey, you know what? If we can make one Spider-Man symbiote, why can't we make more? So there have been two other characters that are very similar to Venom, which is Carnage, who is as popular as Venom, but you can't do a movie with Carnage. Well, you could do a movie with Carnage. That would be ugly. And Riot, who is actually in this particular movie, is the bad guy. So there are some other symbiotes that have existed. I think, Mike, like I said, your thoughts?
I don't. My sister saw this movie twice just because she's a Tom Hardy fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no desire to see this film. Because it's not Spider-Man. It's not tied to the MCU. And it's Venom in name only. We've made that. I don't care. So.
Yeah, I think that this goes to two things, which is one, casual people who are like, oh, Venom, I know Venom, or two, Marvel fanboys who have wanted a Venom movie and just simply didn't care what it is. Now, to me, the weird voice that talks like this, I thought it was kind of stupid. Some people seem to have enjoyed it. I kind of thought it was dumb.
Do you think this movie would have been, I don't know, well, if it was R and they just tweaked it enough just to make it fit a little bit more, just to satisfy the Marvel fanboys, obviously it wouldn't have made as much money if it was R.
But do you think that maybe the studio meant to hit that target with those type of people that they didn't otherwise follow a Spider-Man story or anything? They just kind of wanted to make this almost standalone thing just because it's iconic.
I would say it's not because they didn't do it because it was iconic. I think they did it because they had an arrangement. Well, part of it is the arrangement they have with Marvel and Disney at the moment, where technically Spider-Man is on loan. So at the moment, yeah, you want to make a Venom movie? Okay, you're going to have to figure out a way to do it with that Spider-Man, which they figured out. They said, okay, let's figure out a way. You know, the interesting part about this is there were a couple of plans that they have on hold for other movies. You know, they wanted to see where this was going to go. And now those movies are starting to get more greenlit. Like, there's a movie about Morbius. And Morbius, if you're a Spider-Man fan, Morbius was in the cartoon. And Michael Morbius turns into a vampire of sorts. And again, Morbius has somewhat of a weird popularity like Venom. I've never been into Morbius. I'm not as big of a fan. I'm just not a fan of Morbius. But for a while there, at certain times, he had his own book. Morbius did. I know he's had instances where that's been related to Blade, but they don't have access to Blade that I'm aware of. I think Marvel has access to Blade again, finally. But they're looking at doing a Morbius movie, which is kind of like almost like a superhero vampire movie, I guess, which is kind of this anti-hero theme that they're going with. They're talking about doing a Kraven movie, which again, I'm kind of like, okay, how are you doing? You're going to do a Kraven movie. It seems like they're picking weird. They're picking characters where they can kind of go anti-hero. The ones, ironically, I think are the most interesting are the ones where I've now heard that first they were talking about Silver Sable and Black Cat as a movie together. Now they're talking about a separate movie for each, with them coming together later on in a movie. Like I said, I'm sure I'm the wrong person. A lot of the characters that they're choosing are characters that I'm just not as interested in. And it's funny, because there are Spider-Man characters that they have access to that I would be interested in, but they're not using them.
Yeah. Well, pretty much everything's on the table now as far as what kind of superhero movie we're going to do next.
In a place where we used to not have too many choices, now it seems like we have too many choices.
Wow.
And depending on who's doing what with those choices is what's going to command what's going to go on the screen or what gets passed by. And it seems like, there's a trend of anti-hero thing going on here with the three that you just mentioned, Jeff.
Yeah. To make mention of a certain HBO host who had something not nice to say last week about the passing of Stan Lee, but yeah, there are people who are quick to delegitimize the audience of the superhero films.
That made me angry.
Well, comic books as a whole, but I think he's just a troll. I don't know.
I think for anyone like that to make such a shot and was thinking, okay, let me go ahead and pull the chains of this entire generation of people who, they read comic books, so what? And I'm sorry, you don't know me like that. You can't sit there and judge me like that. Okay, yeah, I read comic books, so what? I'm this uneducated, this uncouth, goofy, nerdy person who won't amount to nothing because I read comic books. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, but, much is to be said about comics and art and story.
It says much more about him than it does about us. So
yeah.
That's all we got.
It says volumes about him that I will never relegate to watching anything he's got to do from here.
Yeah.
Because the man just passed on, and personally I think that was just in very poor taste. And the fact that you got the mourn of a worldwide mourn going on for this iconic human being, this person that meant so much to so many billions of people, and he had to go ahead and blind all those millions of people with this smarmy, stupid remark. I mean, it's a very poor thing to do, and yeah, for a laugh or for whatever reason he did what he did. Again, it's a matter of having some respect, have some class.
It's funny because honestly, Ivan, if you didn't bring it up, I wasn't planning to, and the reason I wasn't planning to is because of exactly that. By doing so, we play into what he wants.
Well, okay.
He has gotten everybody to be talking about him and talking about this all week, and I think that's what he wanted, and he saw that this was the way to do it. It's not the first time he's banged on comic books before. It's just that he took this opportunity to not just bang on comic books. He took this opportunity, and then he went after Stan. He basically went after Stan Lee, which I think is low class, yes. But I won't be shocked if this Friday, if Bill Maher Real Time is on again, and he goes right back at it and does exactly the same thing, and does it, and if anything, doubles down because he thinks that this will get more views, this will get more people. This goes back to all buzz is good buzz.
Well, yeah, all buzz is good buzz, yeah, but, over time, people are only going to take so much. I mean, okay, we could go on a whole nother show stating about how people can get so directly upset, especially in these times where everything is such a sensitive state now, and how things are not as tolerated as they once used to be. So I'm just saying, yeah, maybe he might be getting the attention or the brouhaha or whatever it is he was going for.
No, he was going for ratings, I think.
I think he was just going for the ratings and stuff. Yeah, but over time, you could only do so much of that until people just start saying, oh, well, fuck this. I'm not gonna sit here and have him, insult my intelligence. I mean, come on. And yeah, I mean, yeah, what he said upset me. It didn't rock my world. My world didn't stop because of it, but it just gave me an inner thought of what this person's mindset is all about, and it's sad.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad that you have to relegate to such tactics to just try to, get whatever it is on your mind across to that, and at the shoulders of the people that, watch you every day or every other day.
We've all got a voice. We've all got a medium to speak from. So he can say whatever he wants, but it just didn't improve my opinion of him. So
no, you're right.
So
I agree with you on that.
I think we can move on from there.
Okay, let's go from there.
We have, what else? Oh, yeah, the newest trailer for this PG-13 release of this limited cut of Deadpool was released today with a grown-up Fred Savage duct taped to a bed.
Yeah, that's...
recreating the scene from Princess Bride.
Okay.
They said that they added some extra footage. Like, there was a scene that they showed that I know wasn't in the movie. The one where he's talking about, where he basically refers to the old people and the one guy holding the balloons about the guy from Up. Yeah. And I thought that was kind of funny. But, it was funny. I wasn't planning on seeing this, but I may have to go see it now.
But it's playing right in the same area as that animated Spider-Verse. Right between this animated Spider-Verse and Aquaman, you've got this limited PG-13 cut of Deadpool. I'll wait for the DVD to watch this PG-13 cut. If you guys have anything else to say about this?
Other than the fact that I thought the one line from Fred Savage at the end was awesome. That's the funniest. I spit out water across the room. It was that funny. About, well, you're not really it's like, I wish this was a Marvel movie. And he's like, well, this is a Marvel movie. He's like, no, this is a Fox Marvel movie. That's kind of like if the Beatles were directed by Nickelback. Oh, you just heard that now for the first time, Ivan? Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds' comment is you're a lot meaner about your older friend Savage or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's well done. I don't know. I'm with you. I mean,
I've got other new material to see. I saw Deadpool 2 in the theater. Yeah. I'll wait for the DVD for the cut. But also, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, he's also going to be another iconic character from the 90s. He's going to be the voice of Pikachu.
Yeah, I've not seen
Detective Pikachu. Is that the movie?
Yes. I was not a child of the 90s. I grew up watching my nephew go apeshit over Pokemon cards. So I'm not vested at all in this Pokemon franchise, but I might want to see it just because Ryan Reynolds is funny. I think there's great comedy material in there.
I know that there were a whole bunch of people mad that they thought Jigglypuff didn't look right in the trailer.
Rage quit! Jigglypuff, they screwed it up! Ruined forever!
Hey, we do that to everyone. We do that too.
Oh boy.
Jigglypuff, what they did to Jigglypuff. Man, if they better not mess up Squirtle, man. Or I'm going to write to the studio. I'm going to be mad.
Charles-zard better flame. Because Charles-zard flames.
Who's Charles-zard?
Charles-zard.
Charles in charge?
Charles-zard.
Charizard, Ivan.
Charizard.
I always thought it was Charles-zard for some shit.
No. Oh, boy.
I think we just got a name of the episode.
Charizard.
Charles-zard.
But yeah, I don't give a crap. But this could be good comedy material, this Pokemon movie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well. Is Team Rocket's gotta be in this, right?
They didn't tease anyone.
Did they?
I didn't see anything in the trailer.
Okay, because how could they not be the bad guys? I mean, Team Rocket's like the best. I shouldn't say it's the best part of Pokemon, but their whole little spiel and how they screw up everything is classic.
Yeah, the bumbling,
the bumbling
The bumbling villains.
Yeah. Prepare.
I don't know about Pikachu in a hat though. Hat.
I can't believe this is a real movie.
I can't believe I actually might want to go see this.
I know. You know what this means, right? You know it's going to be like some insane blockbuster movie that we're going to be like, greatest movie ever.
Yeah, all of us are intrigued by this. That's why we're all going to see it here.
So all the artists, I'm seeing all the artists. Like I've seen like Pikachu in Deadpool colors, and everyone's making the Pikapool color.
Or
jokes.
Hold on a second. Or is this the trailer that's like, what was that movie that we all thought was going to be good, and in the end it was brutal, that Ivan wanted to see, and it was bad. And it was like it was really bad about the puppets or the Muppets.
Oh, yeah.
The Happy Time Murders.
Yeah, it got murdered on.
Yeah,
yeah, it did. All the good stuff was in the trailer. and I'm sure its stars are looking to try to forget that. Rotten Tomatoes had a field day with that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be up for a Razzie this year.
I'm sure.
That means that most McCarthy's up for a Razzie, I guess. Then.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because they went into her next movie. They went into her next movie real quick.
It was funny because everybody was like, really like, oh my god, this movie's gonna be great, and then all of a sudden it was like,
yeah, there was the buzz on the street died.
Yeah, it was like it DOA'd like real fast.
Right.
Well, that and of course, I'm sure Brian Henson is, and I'm sure Jim Henson's probably rolling around in his grave right now. I mean, what Brian Henson is pretty much done with his production house. I'm like, okay, we're trying to make Muppets for adults, and yeah, it didn't work.
I don't know if that's his actual production house, because didn't he sell to Disney? Maybe it's just.
Yeah, the Muppets are owned by Disney.
I know that Brian Henson was involved in it, and that he produced it. And if you look at all those Muppets, yeah, those are all the character designs. So there's really no denying the fact that, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. No. So, anybody ready to be the new creator of the cartoon monster serial created universe?
Yeah, the monster serial cinematic universe will be the best one ever.
Yeah, I don't know if if they're going for TV or movies or what. Have you seen this, Ivan?
I am Team Frankenberry.
Have you seen this? That they're looking for somebody to create a shared universe for Blueberry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula.
Well, I got Blueberry sitting up on my fridge. Blueberry gets my vote.
Well, no, I mean, they're like going to pay somebody if somebody can come up with this. There's a whole big thing.
Well, they failed the whole Universal monster thing with that failed mummy thing with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Wow.
So might as well go for the serials now, I guess.
Yeah, let's
Proof
go
that
ahead.
We are running out of ideas badly.
Oh my God, Hollywood's been running out of ideas for the last 20 years.
So wait, hold on a second.
30 years.
Yeah, that's what, General Mills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay, so don't they have access to more than just... They have Lucky Charms. Yeah, they have Lucky Charms. They have Tricks, and they have Cocoa Puffs.
Well, years ago they used to have a ballot where you could vote for the Tricks for the Tricks Rabbit.
Right.
They used to do that years ago. I don't know if they still do that now.
I remember, there was a write-in campaign for what the next marshmallow would be in Lucky Charms. I think that's how we got how we got the purple horseshoes or something.
I think the point
I remember that.
I guess the point I was trying to get to is, why is it that they aren't adding, why is it just the monsters? Why not, if you're going for a shared universe, why not have Lucky from Lucky Charms? Why not have Sunny from Cocoa Puffs? Why not have the Tricks Rabbit? Shouldn't you? Why not just go all out with this and put them all in there?
Anyway, with Captain Crunch, is Captain Crunch part of that too?
No, but the bee from the Honey Nut Cheerios, he's
All right. But the bee has gone through so many changes in the last decade. It's been pretty pop culture friendly all these years. The bee, Cheerios bee.
The only reason I'm saying it is, if you're going to create a shared universe like that, why not go all the way with it?
Well, you need to start with a team, like the Avengers.
Yeah, I guess.
So
wait, you're going to make
with your core group. You've got your Blueberry, Chocula, and Frankenberry, and go from there and branch out.
Are they?
You got your Monster Squad. Forgive the pun.
Well, they call them monsters. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm on the site right now, when I go into their brands for cereals, they list the different brands of cereals, and then the brand is labeled as monsters. Okay, they label the whole thing as monsters. That's interesting. I don't know why they're doing that. That's kind of strange. All right.
Maybe because it's just exclusive to the monsters.
Breakfast cereal monsters cinematic universe. I'm in.
Sure. As long as they're, we could do that. We could make something up, right?
But the monster franchise, isn't this just only relegated to like around Halloween, and then it's like a short run thing? I mean, they used to do it. They used to do, because I know that Blueberry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula, it's the only time it ever shows up in the stores is just for the Halloween season.
Does it? No, I thought it was year round.
No. You can get those year round. You can get Frankenberry and Count Chocula all year long.
Well, maybe we should ask Frank. Maybe we should ask. Hey, do we have Frankenberry with us today? Do we?
Oh no, do we? Count Chocula cereal.
Okay,
the Peter Lorre is the Blueberry. Blueberry cereal, part of this complete breakfast.
Frankenberry
cereal.
I always used to like to do that one. Frankenberry.
Watch our movie, won't you? Maybe buy the cereal and then go to the theater.
Oh, with my cereal. Blueberry. No, Frankenberry. Why must we make them like warring factions? Where there's like a realm and like they're all trying to take over or something.
They got like minions, like miniature versions of themselves. Like the Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Yeah.
So we got a Turkey Day coming up. Woohoo! Yay! Food, football.
We need Miss Frankenberry. She could be like Frankenberry. Yeah. Turkey Day. We're coming up on Turkey Day. Gobble gobble.
What are your Thanksgiving Day traditions, Jeff? What do you do every Thanksgiving?
The last few years, it's been.
Go ahead. Is there like the one thing that you do every year, regardless of where?
I always do start Thanksgiving where I kind of try to want a little bit of time just to think about things and think about how thankful I am for everything and where I'm at in life, and even good and bad, and thankful for all the friends, the family, and the world that we live in today, even if it's as crazy as it's been lately. Just to kind of be thankful. The other thing is obviously football. This year a little better than other years.
Yes.
Although I will tell you, it is certainly wreaking havoc on the concept of going for Thanksgiving dinner. Because if you're not having Thanksgiving dinner in the house, you've got to go somewhere. So it's like, okay, like already I'm hearing like, oh, we got to pick things up. I'm like, but the game. Yeah, but we got to go. But the game is on. We don't have to go yet. The game is on. Yes, we do. Okay. I'm not going to get to. I'm probably going to have to listen to the back half of the game on the radio.
How far do you have to travel?
My aunt lives down on Michigan Avenue. As a matter of fact, she lives right below. In the building that she's in, her upstairs neighbor is Tom Skilling. For real. No lie. So,
Tom Skilling, the Channel 9 meteorologist. Meteorologist.
Weatherman. Long-time weather guy who, we we talked about earlier about Ivan and records. Let me tell you something. I think Tom might give up sex for weather. Like if there's a storm, I think he gets excited about storms. I think that's how he gets excited the most.
Hey.
We had a storm! Oh my God!
Whatever mows your lawn, Tom.
Yeah. Okay, we need the weather tracker, and we need to get all that up.
So, Ivan, what about you? Weather as far as Thanksgiving tradition?
Thanksgiving tradition. Do you want something within the last 15 or so years? Usually getting up and checking out the parades. I like to see the parades. The Thanksgiving Day parade, the Macy's Day parade. I like watching the parades. I like watching them. The Chicago parades, I like watching them.
Do you watch the Chicago one, or do you watch New York City?
I kind of go between the two.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm not as big a fan of football as you and Jeff are, so I don't follow the football all that much. But also, we're doing something a little different this year. I'm going to be spending Thanksgiving with Julie's family, and Soraya's joining us this year to go to Julie's sister's home in Indiana. We're going to be going there and celebrating Thanksgiving there. We're going to celebrate Thanksgiving at my parents' house on Friday. So not only am I going to get to eat my body weight in turkey and all kinds of other goodies, not once, but twice. I'm going to be so food coma by Saturday, it's going to be ridiculous. I'll probably be asleep for the next 48 hours. But traditionally, watching the parades, and then usually watching the parades and just checking everything out on the screen, talking with the family about, what we were thankful for the year, well wishing all of our friends on the telephone, or now as we do in social media, making sure everybody else is okay, and getting things ready to go to the people's places. Like we got 4 pies from Baker Square. 2 of them are going to my mom and dad. They're getting me a cherry and apple pie, and then Julie and I were going to be getting the pumpkin and apple pie, and so it's going to be a lot of stuff. I mean, not only do we got turkey on the table, we've got ham, 3-bean casserole, corn casserole, stuffing, chocolate almond cake, twice baked potatoes. So yeah, it's gonna be quite the shindig. And Julie's daughter's Jessica's gonna be bringing her 2 pit bulls over, so Soraya's excited about that, because she loves dogs. And so it's a little different from our usual thing that we do, like we used to do, because it was like we would get together over at my mom and dad's house, and before that, the traditions were, when my mom and dad were up to it, we would make pasteles in the kitchen, which is kind of a flat tamale with, meat in the middle, and it's made from, green banana, or plantain as it's called, and you grind it down, make the meal, make the meat, put it in, fold it up in leaf, and it, string it together, and then you throw it in water, you boil it for a bit, and you eat it, that type of thing. And we would make a drink called coquito, which, of course, the tradition for that is one person would throw in the rum, the next person would throw in the cinnamon, the next person would throw in the chocolate and everything, and then all of us would take turns stirring the concoction, and we would gather up all the empty booze bottles we had around, fill the booze bottles, fill with this coquito. We would drink our fill, and we would give bottles of it out to our relatives or the people that would come visit. That was some of our traditions back in the past, when we did things at home. And then we played music. My dad would play the guitar. He would play traditional Guinaldo music, which is basically stories handed down from decades and decades and decades, from family to family to family, about the first Thanksgiving, about the, Christmas, that would play into it as well. and such. So yeah, so those were some of the things that we did for Thanksgiving, when I was growing up. And now, as we've gotten older, well, Mom and Dad, they're just kind of, chilling out this year. They're going to, they say they're going to make a bird and that they're going to make a little rice and everything. And then all the rest of the family members are going to be bringing a little something to serve up on Friday and, to kind of celebrate that way as well. So there we go. There's my Thanksgiving thing. And then on the 24th, which is Saturday, I'll be out at the clubs again, but at least it's going to be a daytime gig over at Slippery Slope. I'm going to be doing a 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. set for Lizanne Cook. Hi, Lizanne. And, yeah, so there it is. There's my thing in the bag. Also, too, if we get a chance to see, it's Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown, if they ever show it, I'd like to see that, too. So there you go.
How about you, Mike?
It's going to be a little smaller affair than last year. Last year we had it at Kelly's, but it'll be here. And, well, there's one thing I do every Thanksgiving. Well, we watch the parades. Usually it's just on in the background where we're just getting ready for everybody to show up. But there's one thing I do every Thanksgiving, no matter for the last, as long as I can remember. I will take a dinner roll with some white meat and put some mashed potatoes on it. I will have the turkey and mashed potato sandwich on a dinner roll every Thanksgiving. That's my biggest Thanksgiving tradition as well. That and watching the football and obviously just hanging out with everyone. And then after dinner, we'll have the desserts. And my uncle and aunt, they bring pies from this place in Huntley called Tom's. They make a good apple pie, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll usually just play a family game, either Trivial Pursuit or something like that after dinner and just hang out. There are times, other ones where we got a lot of mileage out of the Deal or No Deal DVD game. Because that one's not dictated by how much knowledge of movies and TV, because I have to MC those every time. Every time we play a family game, I have to be the MC. A, because I guess I have a good speaking voice, and B, if I'm on the guy's side, the girls would complain, because usually guys versus girls, and the girls would complain because, I tend to know a lot of the useless trivia knowledge answers. But anyway, yeah, Thanksgiving, obviously, what Jeff said earlier is that, it's a time to be thankful, and I have much to be thankful for.
Me too.
Having left a wreath at my father's grave on Wednesday, because we had to get it before the ground got too solid. We had to get that firmly planted so it'll stay put and not fall over. So, I have much to be thankful for, so I'm going to enjoy that. But, maybe if I can catch sometimes they even do, the Christmas specials on Thanksgiving night. But I'm looking forward just watching some football and having some yummy beverages, both regular and more adult-oriented things to drink, and having a nice big Thanksgiving dinner. Always, I've been, like I said, very, very thankful. I've never had to go without. So, any of you guys going out for Black Friday shopping?
No.
No Black Friday deals?
No.
I have to work on Friday, but I think I'm putting some time aside just in case I decide I want to go see a movie Friday night. I want to go catch either Wreck-It Ralph or Creed 2.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to that until next week. I have a feeling if I get to anything this week, it's probably going to be A Star Is Born, just because it's going to be easy to get in and see it.
Right.
Tomorrow. I have a feeling everything else is going to be. I have a feeling those other two movies are going to be packed next couple.
Yeah, it's going to be a spur of the moment thing. If the mood catches me, then I'll run out and go see a movie.
Yeah, I might want to go see Wreck-It Ralph, but I think I'm going to leave that to Sunday since I have nothing to absolutely do on Sunday. I think that might be something along the lines of something I would like to do.
Yeah.
Is either catch up with Wreck-It Ralph or maybe actually finally catch up with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Yeah, you should do that.
I would say because it's playing they got four good movies playing at the Logan Theater, so I have my choice, and it's only a 5-minute walk away, so
There you go.
works out good. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll be keeping an eye on some of my favorite online retailers for maybe some good Black Friday deals if they pop up. Like, you like email, you check email and say, oh, what's going on? What's on sale today? Because there is no such thing as Black Friday. Let's not fool ourselves. If you're having a Black Friday sale on the Saturday before Black Friday, then it's not Black Friday.
No, it's not.
And I can't.
It's like Cyber Monday. When did that become a thing?
Well, it was. It's no longer a thing because everyone has a cyber device in their hand now.
Well, and the other thing is that then you've got things like Small Business Saturday.
Yes,
it's turned into a whole thing. And at least with Small Business Saturday, it's more small businesses than local, and I can support that. But
I can support the Small Business Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they deserve it more.
Yeah, well, it's just amazing to me how many people don't have a place to go or don't have something really for themselves for Thanksgiving. There are a lot of people who I'm shocked. They're like, yeah, well, why not? I might as well go and go shop. I guess there's demand. I guess there really are people who are like,
yeah. I saw an ad the other day. I almost flipped my shit. JCPenney is open at 2 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, there are others that are more open. They're going to be open.
You got some people that are open first thing in the morning.
Yeah. You got people who are open all day. It's crazy. It's. I
mean, personally, I think that bothers me a great deal because it's just so taken away from what the whole situation of what Thanksgiving is all about. I mean, stopping the world for a while to be thankful for all the things that we got and what has happened and what's going on. I think, and it seems like with every year, the whole Thanksgiving aura has gotten more and more dim.
Hashtag war on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Hashtag cookie strong.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I'm sure that once Thanksgiving is over and everything, I'm sure the people over at Matter are going to be like, where's the Christmas tones? I'm going to say, not till the week before, folks. Yeah.
No. It's, it was funny because there are people I know who are like, oh, we're going downtown for the Christmas tree lighting and,
I mean, they were
the parade, and I'm like, really? Seriously?
Yeah, my sister and my niece were shopping at not the Merchandise Mart, or was it one of the? Yeah, but anyway, they were near the downtown area Saturday, and it was mobbed. I said, yeah, they got their shopping done in like an hour and a half in the late morning. I said, we did get out of here because. By the time it gets dark, and it's cold, everyone's be out for the parade and all that last Saturday. So yeah, they had to turn tail quick.
I think that's part of the reason why Cyber Monday exists is because people
don't want to be caught up in all that.
Right, and it's insane. I mean, I live near Old Orchard, okay, and the line to just get off at that exit. I mean, backs up onto the highway. It's dangerous. It's crazy. It's like, what the heck? All of a sudden, there's a traffic jam, and the reason there's a traffic jam is because the line is backed up all the way back onto the highway a good home.
Yeah, I remember days where I was going to Woodfield Mall, and I was in December during the week, and I couldn't find a parking space.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who I like to hang out with who lives near there, and it's funny because I'm sure he'll say, like, hey, you should come by and hang out on Sunday, and I'm going to be like, I don't want to go anywhere near.
I am so glad that I don't have to be party to the whole Black Friday, let's hang out till 5 o'clock in the morning situation, or people just out there the day before
Yeah.
waiting for Black Friday to open up. I mean, they're camping out in their tents. They've got their thermoses, or they're in their cars running their heaters or whatever, just to get these, doorbuster sales and everything. And then the pandemonium that ensues and the ugliness of how people get.
Yes. PSA, please, if you're going to video a fight on Black Friday, please just say no to vertical videos. Please turn your camera sideways, turn your phone sideways, because vertical videos suck. That's the fun thing about Black Friday is there were times where we'd get wind of, especially we have a Meijer in town, and there's one year they were open at midnight Thursday night, and there were fights for DVD players, and we heard about they had to call the cops. Two people got in a wrestling match over the last DVD player, and
and then people are just so rude.
And you'll get one or two stories on. It's sad to say, but on Black Friday, you'll get word of one person died at this one store because they got trampled, and that's sad.
Or somebody gets hurt,
or somebody goes to the hospital, or somebody gets shot in the foot or something because someone gets mad because that was my TV. Bullshit, man.
Okay, here you go, man. You wanted the Wreck-It Ralph doll so badly. Take it, man,
Well,
Didn't you see a fight over Tickle Me Elmo once, Ivan?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I remember you talked about this on the Weave.
Yeah, you should have seen it. I mean, these two women, I believe, that was the story, and it was hideous. It was the most hideous, most juvenile thing I'd ever seen in my whole life. It was just remember for a while there that it was the toy of the season, and everybody was going for the toy of the season.
Yeah, for several years, yeah. Tickle Me Elmo was.
Yeah, there was the Furbys was one of those toys of the season. I made bank on that.
I remember you were selling you and your lady friend were selling Furbys out of your trunk.
Out of the trunk of the Mustang. I was going to
in a corridor or somewhere, like an alley or something,
a flickering street light.
We went to the Thai conventions, for the Beanie Babies. We would go into the parking lots of the Beanie Baby conventions and stuff. And, I went in, like some kind of sneaky guy, the guy that holds the shirt, the coat open and goes, "Wanna buy a watch?" I go walking in, and I'm going up and down the aisles. I'm like, "Furby?" And they're like, "Furby? What do you mean?" Parking lot, East parking lot. And I would have people following me out into the parking lot. We were selling Furbys at like almost a 200% markup on the whole thing. And we made some good money that year. And just so that nobody would suspect me, I came in with a Quackers, the duck, the baby duck, and I'm like, "Hey, got Quackers, quack, quack, quack. He's really good. I got Quackers, quack, quack, quack. I'll sell them to you." And the people would come over wondering about me selling Quackers, and it's like, Furbys? In fact, I had two Furbys that were out of the box, and there was this van just about to leave out of the parking lot. He looks out, he goes, "Hey, you with the Furbys, how much?" I go, "How about 60 each?" Done. I told two Furbys, $60 each out of the box, my promotionals.
Mm.
I sold
your display items? Your floor models?
Yep. Sold them all.
Yeah. What was the last one? We had the Hatchimals was like 1 or 2 years ago. That one was that was crazy hot.
Oh, let me see. Then of course there was the Cabbage Patch Kids. There was a point where they actually had bootleggers actually putting out bootleg Cabbage Patch dolls, and they were trying to put them out there, man. And when they found out that there were boots out there, people were upset. So that's why Xavier, I guess whoever the fuck made them, they started putting her signature on the bottom of the tags because the things were getting booted so quick. I mean, for those Beanie Babies, So, Cabbage Patch Kids.
You just gotta be there when the skillet is hot.
Yeah, well, and but you don't. Nobody needs to be mean about it. Nobody needs to be mean
just
about it. Okay?
give thanks and be excellent to each other. That's all I can say,
Right,
man.
because we're all going in the same direction. We all came from the same place. We're all going in the same direction. Whether we got a little more money or a little less money. From the dust we came, for the dust we're going to return, folks. You know what? And during the time while we're here together, let's make it the time to remember. Okay. Let's make it the time to be happy. Let's make it the time that we look to one another and say, yeah, you know what? We did it today, and today was cool.
I don't know if we put this on the page. We've talked about the Ghostbusters reboot with the women before.
Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that up after...
I guess now there's talk about a third Ghostbusters movie with the original cast as a possibility of coming back, which I think...
Well, Harold Ramis isn't coming back.
Well, right, that's one of the comments, obviously.
And Bill Murray doesn't want nothing to do with the franchise.
Well, we'll see. You know what? Money is money. But it's interesting because Akroyd made comment on the reboot, the all-women version. Yeah. And it was interesting because he put everything as to why that failed on their biggest cheerleader, which is Paul Feig, who was the guy who directed that particular movie. That he talked about that.
Yeah, how the director cost too much.
Yeah, it cost too much to make, and that he wasn't listening to certain people and certain ideas, and that he wouldn't listen to budget suggestions. He was like, he thought that the women were good, which it's funny because the acting in it, I don't blame the actors.
No.
I just think it's a bad plot.
I just blame the story.
I think it's a bad story. I think it's a bad plot. I thought the special effects were kind of horrible, considering how much they would spent on it. If anything, it's kind of funny to me. I would love to see a way where they could dovetail the women into a third Ghostbusters movie with the originals. That could be interesting. I don't think that's the direction they're going to go, but I do think it's funny because this guy's been out there talking about how it's just a bunch of men who don't like it, and here's Akroyd who basically puts it right on this guy. And I think it's great. I really do.
Well, but that does lead to a great idea, Jeff, that, while the women are in there doing their groovy thing, to have the originals kind of walk in and, maybe make it this mega, Ghostbuster clan, or tribe. I think that might be a really good thing, where not to say that the girls are gonna look up to the guys or the guys are gonna try to mansplain the situation to the women, but if they become this fucking super group of Ghostbusters, I think that would be a dynamite story.
Well, I always thought, this is the part I never understood. I always thought it'd be interesting, where is the Ghostbusters franchise now? And I thought that would be a great place to go, and you could keep the characters as they were, and basically just be where these women run it. And I thought that would be interesting, but they wanted to reboot the whole thing, and it's like, I don't think you had to reboot the whole thing. I think you could have basically started it with, okay, well, these guys are out of the business now, and these are the people who run Ghostbusters in New York. And maybe it is a big franchise, and there's other ones across the country or around the world. Who knows? I mean, you can do a lot of things with it, but
right. That would have been the better way to go with something like that, where they picked up where the original guys left off, and then they're all comfortable now because now there's Ghostbuster franchises all over the world and everything, and then maybe it's a kind of a slump because everybody else is Ghostbusting now.
Or you could go the other direction, which is they bought the franchise for practically nothing because they drove it into the ground, and now they got to rebuild the whole thing again. And you could go that.
You know what would be interesting? All of those monsters that they kept in that chamber and everything. Somehow there was a meltdown. and all those monsters ended up escaping again. And the current team didn't know what to do with that part of it because nobody told them how to deal with that once they sold the franchise to them. And then that's when the old guys can come back in and say, well, this is what we got to do. And then everybody comes together and makes this big to-do movie. I think that might be a workable thing, don't you?
Yeah, it's a possibility. Like I said, I think there's a lot of directions. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I think it'd be a good idea. Just intertwine the two.
Yeah.
I just make it a good story. I mean, we had time. We've had more than enough time to come up with a good enough story.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the funny part was there's been a lot of people whose reaction is, oh, you're just against the women. No, I'm not against the women. I'm not. I think I thought the women were just fine. I just thought
it suffered from a poor production and a poor writing stance, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
everything else failed them on this. So I just thought it was interesting because Akroyd just came right out and said it. So I think I'm kind of glad because it's like, and it's funny because I get the impression that Akroyd's kind of like, I don't really like to talk about things like that or say things like that out loud, but I think he got tired of listening to Paul Feige sit there and or Feige or whatever his name is, keep sitting there and talking about about what the problems were when really in reality, that you know, when he knew certain things and obviously, but all right, so I'll start with the funny stuff and we'll start ironically with something funny from Stan Lee. How that is possible? Well, a New Zealand newspaper confused Stan Lee with Spike Lee.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
I always get those two confused.
Yes. Right. At least I didn't say he was married to Sarah.
And then they use it. I mean, they just told it in the print.
Well, I mean, he did co-create Black Panther, so maybe both of them had the jungle fever.
Yeah, maybe. Or you know what? He's also the co-creator of Jeans. You know, Lee Jeans.
Yeah. That hurt.
Sorry. I could see something like that. He's married to Sarah. He also made Jeans.
And he drove the car from Dukes of Hazzard.
How?
The General Lee.
Yeah, General Lee. That'd be great. Spike. Oh, there he is.
He also made cake too. Sarah Lee.
There's a visual. Spike Lee driving the General Lee. I'm sure that'll go.
Well, eating a Sarah Lee cake.
Yeah. Oh God. That'd be funny. Yeah, I want to know who the guy was. I assume whoever is fired. How do you screw up that badly?
Didn't CNN do that too?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, the story is.
I was one of the news stories when Aretha Franklin died. They put up a picture of Patti LaBelle.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, totally.
Forget one of the. Was it Fox News?
I think it was Fox.
Yeah, I think it was Fox. Fair and balanced, but stupid.
Hey, all hail Rupert Murdoch!
So yeah, Spike Lee is still alive.
And well, it's still making us laugh.
Yes, we'll hang our heads low when that SpiderMan balloon floats over New York City on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know what you're thinking of?
What?
You're thinking about that story. You're thinking about that story. I think I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was during the whole Kobe Bryant trial with the rape thing, and Larry King wanted to bring on Chick Hearn, and the problem was that Chick Hearn had been dead.
We talked about this, yeah.
That's what Ivan's referenced.
He's already dead.
Yeah, he's already dead. You can't bring him in. Sorry. So let's see what else. Mom criticized for breastfeeding 9-year-old, says it's nice for the child to be in control. What?
9 years old? 9 years old. Come on.
The topic of breastfeeding, for better or worse, remains a controversial one, especially when it comes on discussing how long it should go on. In particular, okay.
I had a neighbor that used to do that with her 6-year-old.
Let's see. I love the last name, Sharon Spink, a British mom who's speaking out about how she let her child nurse until she was 9 years old. Quote, when I came to have Charlotte, I decided it was a natural term, weaning. It's nice for a child to be in control of when they want to wean rather than forcing the issue.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, the poor kid's a freak, and I'm sure, with the way things are today and people taking videos and stuff like that, and of course, I'm sure it got back to his school somehow. Hey, saw you were getting a bust in your mouth from your mom. Wow.
Here's the real question. Here's the interesting part. I guess and obviously there's certain people who think it's a pedophilia thing. Here's the amusing part. What reaction? Because obviously it's a girl. What would you think the reaction would be if a boy just basically went, okay, I'm just going to nurse right here and I'm 9 on my mom?
Yeah,
that's not gonna.
That's disgusting.
Mike's awkward silence.
They'd have called the cops on him.
Yeah.
If it was.
They sure would have.
But if the thing is a 9-year-old girl, it's not getting as much traction on the news.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah, if it was a boy, that'd be an entirely different media circus right there.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, these are things that happen in Britain. Britain always has weird stuff that happens.
They save their legs.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. New Jersey man tells he drank too much because the Jets suck, which is true. The Jets do suck.
Well, if this guy lives to make it to January, then we need some help ahead of time because the Jets don't look like they're getting in much better.
Yeah, so apparently, allegedly trying to dull the pain with a joint, a baggie of marijuana with requisite rolling papers and 3/4 of a bottle of bourbon, claiming he did it all because the Jets suck.
Well, okay, I mean, if he was going to be doing weed, I don't think he needs to have the bottle of bourbon because I think the weed will pretty much mellow him out and get him to think about other things than the Jets losing.
You know what, Ivan? Obviously, you haven't watched the Jets play. Here's the real question.
I want to watch the Jets play. There's my question.
There's that. But then let's take this a step further. He's doing this because of the Jets. What the hell happens in Cleveland when the Browns play? They're horrible. I mean, they make the Jets look good. That's the truth. I mean, what do they do in Cleveland? Like, are they constantly this might be like a get out of jail free thing in Cleveland. It's
that's right. Tonight is the what is it? The Rams and
they're
both undefeated. Yeah, they're playing tonight. We'll see how they go. Yeah, they're both 9-1.
Yeah,
8-1 or 9-1.
9-1.
That's gonna be one ugly game.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So basically, apparently, that's now an excuse.
Yeah.
Let's see. Police lock up an angry raccoon drunk on crabapple hooch until they sober up.
Put him in Mayberry.
Let's see.
Drunken animals are cool.
Barney Fife's going to watch the raccoon until it sobers up.
I have to... I don't even have to read the story anymore. You guys just go. Figure out what you want to say. We can just make this up. It's not like it's like the Rescue Rangers or anything like this. Oh no! At least one of the raccoons initially thought to be drunk is now believed to have just had distemper, a serious viral illness. Wait, so that raccoon has been euthanized? Well, that's okay. They're trash cans. Yes, anyway. Yes. They're vicious little bastards.
That's right. Yeah.
The police added to help the other
raccoon. My raccoon story?
Wait, hold on. The police added to hope the other raccoon was in fact drunk and thriving in the wild. Apparently, the original story, I guess this was updated. The raccoons didn't have rabies. They simply found some fermented crab apples and apparently are rather surly drunks. Well, I could have told you that. If you ever had to deal with a freaking... First of all, nobody is allowed to hunt these freaking things. They get to the size of like, they're 3 or 4 pounds. They're huge. They're fat, too. And they're nasty and they're mean. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, okay. You ended up with the nasty mean raccoon. I ended up with a mother raccoon looking for some food in a parking lot back when I worked at Deerfield Village Center. And I had this boss that took over for Steve for a while because he went off to do another building assignment. So here it is. I'm out there doing my trash runs and everything. And here's this big fat, huge, raccoon. And it's just like going around like looking for something. So, I'm feeling bad. And I've got all this, my usual, I got a snack bag with, stuff I eat while I'm out there and, running around and everything. So here it is. I pull out an apple and everything and I'm like, here you go. And here comes my boss. Goes, are you crazy? What are you trying to do? That thing's got rabies. He'll kill you. And, and so the coon goes up to my hands and ends up taking the apple out of my hands and then ends up going away.
That's scary, man.
What?
It's scary, man. It could have bit you, man.
Yeah.
So he took the apple. He seemed grateful and he just kind of, she kind of rolled away. And my boss was looking at me. He goes, I'll fucking kill you, Ivan. I'll fucking kill you. And like, she wanted the apple. So I gave her the apple.
This is the problem. This is the problem, Mike. This is the problem. Everybody sees like these cartoons and stuff and all these things. Oh, they look so cute. And they don't run into them in reality. When they run
but then they got videos on Facebook and everything. You get these people that rescue these animals and they take care of them. And they're so cute. They're on a harness and they're walking with them and they wash their hands with everything. And so the illusion that they're not as violent as people make them out to be is still something of a
there's a lot of people who are insane. There are a lot of people who keep trying to make certain animals where it's like, oh, it'd be great to have a pet this, and it's like, are you freaking nuts?
I saw a Potbelly Pig one.
Just so you know, the authorities in that particular area want you to know that you should not approach raccoons that are acting unusual.
No.
Yeah.
Not when they're eating fermented crab apples.
Well, absolutely not.
Well, I just think it's kind of funny that you have to be told not to approach them. I mean, then again, this did happen in West Virginia. Maybe they're just thinking, look, food.
Oh, he's so cute in the movie with that gun and that plant.
Well, no, I'm thinking about the people from West Virginia. Them too. I mean, if you really think about it, it's already been marinated.
Yes.
Seriously. We got the middle. We scared.
So vaccinate your pets and be careful around people from West Virginia. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, that's our lesson to you.
You know the best is I have friends from West Virginia, and I'm sure right about now they all want to shoot me for that one, which is good because they all have guns. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. Next, scientists have been given the green light. See, this is okay. This is the problem. There are two things I don't understand. One, why everyone wants to create an artificial intelligence that's smart enough to either make us into the Terminator or the Matrix, and the second one, which is that scientists have been given the green light to resurrect the dead.
Huh?
Why?
All right, what's the article say?
Yes, please read.
Did you ever see Reanimator with Jeffrey Combs?
This is how zombies happen.
That's right. That's how you get The Walking Dead. Don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
No.
No. This is a bad idea. I don't even know how this starts.
No.
It's like, you know how it starts too, like, oh, we could bring George Washington back from the dead. No, you know what you're going to end up doing? Making zombies. This is what's going to happen.
Zombie George Washington.
And then The Walking Dead becomes reality.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's not a Kirkman thing anymore.
Yeah, and then people are going to be like, oh, wow, it's like the real Walking Dead, but they're really dead.
Yeah, you know what they'll be like? They'll be like, oh, it's like Zombieland, and I can go around shooting things all the time, and it's like, I already know. You know what, the worst part is there are going to be people sitting around going, well, we've watched all those series, we know exactly what to do about the zombies. This is...
Don't ever go outside looking like you didn't get any sleep because somebody might mistake you for a zombie.
And then, meanwhile, the preppers be all like, okay, bring on the zombies. I'll be in my fortress.
Well, really. So apparently, according to stem cell research, is something we've been studying for the past 2 decades. This is from a website called awarenessact.com. Awarenessact.com. However, there was an ethical controversy over a topic that caused quite a bump in the road. There is no doubt that the ethical question of stem cell research has caused a tremendous halt in research. However, that is nowadays past. Scientists at a biotech company based in the United States have been granted ethical permission to begin research to attempt to stimulate and regrow neurons by manipulating stem cells. The research will be performed on 20 brain-dead patients. The technique is new and untested, so it will unlikely bring about controversy as usual. Yeah. Sure. That's how Mike, is that not how every horror movie starts?
Yeah. That's how you get... I think that's how the Resident Evil... Yeah, where's our zombie cereal for the General Mills Monster Cinematic Universe?
Not really, no joke.
We're gonna get one.
Yeah.
Frankenberry.
Yeah, like I said. Frankenberry, here to save us from the zombies.
The zombie apocalypse is coming, part of this complete breakfast.
Oh.
What are we going to do?
Okay, so there will be 2 techniques, both of which have been successfully about bringing people out of the coma. The result, bringing the dead back to life. This is no Pet Cemetery. It will be extreme. Wait, this is no Pet Cemetery. It is an extremely extensive research study. Yeah, that's what they say in every freaking movie.
That's how it starts. Until
like
something goes wrong.
The best way to sum this up is this: that part in Detroit Rock City where it's like they have the hitchhiker, and they're like, and the guy's like, this is how every horror movie, this is how every bad psycho movie starts. And the other person's like, dude, this is how every porn movie starts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, it's like, oh, there's not going to be any problems. Oh, sure there's not going to be any problems.
Oh, that's because no problems that you're aware of yet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, next story, you're going to enjoy this.
Twilight Zone shit.
This is quite just reading the title alone makes me laugh. Japan's new cybersecurity minister admits he doesn't actually use computers.
That's what he used, like the beads on the rods, like the adding machine.
The abacus.
Since I was 25, I've been in a position of authority where secretaries and employees handle such tasks for me. I give instructions to my aide, so I don't punch it into the computer myself. But I am confident our work is flawless. How would you know?
Not when you're busy delegating.
Apparently his portfolio includes organization of, this is good. His portfolio includes organization of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Also appeared this is good. Appeared clueless about how USB sticks work when answering questions about security of the country's power grid. It's quote from the British newspaper The Guardian. It's unbelievable that someone who's not touched computers is responsible for cybersecurity policies. Oh God, that's
oh my God, that's horrendous. Operation Clusterfuck is about to take place. The only question I have is how do I get that job?
There's got to be a way. That's the real trick. I think that's what bothers me the most. Is I don't know how to do that. Doesn't matter. Not important. Who cares?
There was a statement that Groucho Marx made. If you could be loyal and honest and fake it, you'll make it.
Okay, so what else we got? Oh, let's see. This is kind of something we should have talked about earlier. Again, I don't know if you're aware of this, Mike. I think Mike's aware of this. I don't know about Ivan.
What's that?
That last year, Sue the T-Rex from the Field Museum was playing Dungeons and Dragons through its Twitter account with the fans of their Twitter account. Okay. Well, apparently the game is back, and this time it's not just Sue is the game master, and the other players are the Shed Aquarium, the Adler Planetarium, the MC Chicago, and the Chicago Lions, which are the two bronze lions outside of the Art Institute. And I guess Sue the T-Rex acts as the DM. Okay. The other accounts are players. The Chicago Lions play a lion rogue, while the Shed Aquarium plays a sea elf archer. The MCA Chicago plays an undead Taxiba bard, which uses art and mixed visual performance for spells. That's a play on the MCA's Felix, a giant skeleton, on display at the museum. This is a continuation of last time she played. The adventure loosely adapts Waterdeep Dragon Heist, with the party attempting to steal the legendary Beholder crime boss Xanthiar to raise funds to bring their friend back to life. There's a question: is who is the person they're trying to bring back to life? But the only question I have is, can I play? Why can't I play? I want to play.
By the way, MCA, do you mean MBC, the Museum of Broadcast Communications?
No, it says the MCA Chicago. I'm trying to figure out what this is. The MCA Chicago.
Okay, because I was thinking MCA Chicago.
At the Museum of Contemporary Art Chicago. Bingo.
Oh, okay. So the MBC is not in this. Okay, never mind.
No. Yeah. That would be helpful. But yeah, so I will have to check out Sue to see how good of a DM she is, Mike.
And I'm surprised the Bean isn't playing.
Yeah, really, no joke.
Yeah, why isn't the Bean playing?
Why isn't Science and Industry playing? Maybe they're going to resurrect the Bean.
Yeah.
Or the Science and Industry, because the Science and Industry isn't playing. Let's see, who else isn't playing?
Don't turn the Bean into a zombie.
Yeah, zombie Bean.
Or the Picasso over at
Yeah, why is Yeah, there's a few there's
a few things that are mentioned there. I mean, why
and don't cast magic missile at the water tower.
Yeah. And don't cast it at Buckingham Fountain either.
Well, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, well, that ain't gonna work. Well, maybe you blow it up. It might. Well, water will spill everywhere.
But then, of course, they could always hang around by the Navy Pier.
Yeah. So that's going on. I thought that was kind of cool. Not nearly as funny, but still cool.
Cool though.
Which let's get back to funny. These driverless cars. There is one advantage to the driverless cars. According to a study, they will lead to more sex on the road.
Sadly, yeah. Not sadly for a lot of people, though.
No.
Or from one researcher, it's quite likely that autonomous vehicles will lead to prostitution, whether legal or illegal, taking place in moving autonomous vehicles in the future. Okay. I have finally...
Knocking, don't bother knocking.
I have finally...
Don't bother driving either.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not driving.
That's how accidents are going to happen. This is how it's
bend over, I'll drive.
Climb over to get to the back seat while the vehicle's in motion.
Well, this is what happens.
Poetry in motion.
Don't pop the clutch too soon.
Oh.
Don't throw your
I
gear.
see what you did there.
This is.
Put your rear in gear.
I can't wait because this is how accidents are going to happen. I'm thinking for the first time where there's some accident, and the reason some accidents happens is because somebody was having sex and accidentally knocked off the autopilot, and something bad happened. And that story is going to be all over the internet, and I don't want to be that person ever.
Man, it made for one hell of a bust, I'll tell you that.
Oh. Well, you'll definitely see a bust, apparently, at this point. Okay, so apparently this is a new paper published in the Journal of Annals of Tourism Research. The study reviewed papers on self-driving cars in cities to identify future trends around how self-driving cars will reshape the tourism industry. Wait, this is the best. This is from Scott Cohen, the Deputy Director of the Research for the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management at the University of Surrey, who led the study. Quote, this seems to have stimulated interest.
Okay.
Emphasis on stimulated.
Yep. Here's an interesting stat. Around 60% of Americans have already had sex in a car.
Well, yeah, because back, I don't know if that's as much now as it was back in the days of old where the automobile, I think since the invention of the automobile, especially the enclosed automobile, has always been a place to pull off, illicit sexual activity or pull out of activities.
Pull out. So here's what Cohen predicts. He predicts that sex in autonomous vehicles likely won't become a reality until the 2040s, which is way too late for me. That's
me too, man. 2040.
In places where prostitution is legal and where regulations support the advancement of technology, those two strands will come together, literally. Putting sex tourism on wheels. Sex tourism is a small part of the paper which doesn't address additional questions that need to be answered about safety and sex tourism. Yes, those need to be addressed.
Can you imagine an automobile coming up to you on a corner, opens up the door itself, and goes, "Come in, baby."
Yeah.
Services are as follows: $10 for one, $20 for two, $30 for three, or $50 for four. Push the button. We take all credit cards and we take cash.
You're scaring me already with that. Okay, we're done with this.
Sounds like Ivan's interviewing for a job.
Yeah.
It sounds like Ivan's interviewing for a job.
Yeah. Okay. So I got a couple more. We're gonna go a different direction. Farting controversy.
Because I scared him.
Yeah, we did. That was creepy. Not like we wake up the dead on creepy, but pretty close.
Self-serving automobiles, man. Hi, get your rocks off in an automobile. No woman needed. Just come and jump into the car.
Yeah, is that what the cigarette lighter's for? Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so farting controversy clouds Grand Slam of Darts quarterfinal.
What?
You heard me? Farting controversy clouds Grand Slam of Darts quarterfinal. If you missed it, Scottish dart player Gary Anderson defeated Dutchman Wesley Harms 10-2 to earn a spot in the quarterfinals of the Grand. It says the Grand Slam of Darts. I think they meant Grand.
But the loser is saying sour grapes or sour smells.
Apparently, yeah. Harms claimed that he wasn't able to play to the best of his abilities because there was a terrible smell on stage that likely came from the posterior of his opponent. Anderson left a quote-unquote fragrant smell behind, and one to take him 2 nights to lose the smell from his nose.
It was a strategic move.
Those might have seemed like harsh comments coming from a likely frustrated loser, but it's not as though Anderson did a great job of defending the honor. The honor of his Rather than play the whoever smelt it dealt it card, the scouts showed mysterious lengths to deny any and all accusations. However, there's an interview here. The interview is on our Facebook page. You can look it up.
He did it.
Situation building on Anderson's eyes when the interview contends the practice on the possibility of past gas. He thought that swearing on his children's life and some self-deprecation about shitting himself with farts would get him out of the hot wind. But like any good journalist, the interviewer kept pushing. Anderson's crack started to show near the end of the clip when he got into the details of where the smell was specifically coming from and what it smelled like. These should have been given within the first couple questions about the dart fart. Well, even his face after the final question looked like he holding another rump ripper. Obviously, meant to use such things as preservatives.
I never heard the term rump ripper.
Yeah,
rump ripper?
To me. Isn't that a song? Here comes the rump ripper. What? On the Little Girl Kicks. Da, 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 da. Now here's the thing. Obviously, they've never been in the car with me when I've gone to Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, or with me at the radio station after 2 days good and ripe.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, here's the thing.
Ivan could have been a darts champion.
You know what the funny part is? Wait, here's the best part.
I could have been a contender.
Wait, hold on a second. I want to look at this. Okay? I'm looking at this now on Deadspin. It says file to, get this. I gotta click on this. File to Fartgate.
What?
There's a Fartgate.
So what? Is it like a little needle dot, a little VU meter, and you just fart your phone to see how bad your farts sound or how loud your farts sound or something?
Oh my God, there are a whole bunch of stories here about farts from different years, about stuff from farting in sports. The Marlins apparently played fart noises during a Nationals batting practice in 2015. Oh, here's a good one. Apparently somebody farted on air during First Take on ESPN. It doesn't say who. This is from 2015. I gotta go look it up. I don't want to go look it up, but it'd be hysterical. Stephen A. It'd be like, yeah, I farted. What do you want? I'm a man. Like something like that. And apparently there's a picture here about Tiger Woods in 2009. I don't okay. There apparently was multiple fartgates. Who knew? We learned new things today.
This can't be the first time this has happened in the wide world of sports.
Speaking of farts, as long as we're on that, there was a story from Rob Reiner from The Princess Bride that on the set, and we put this up, by the way, on our Facebook page. As long as we're talking about farts, we might as well talk about this story. On the set of Princess Bride, Andre the Giant once let out a 16-second fart that brought production to standstill.
Oh my God.
You was a big man.
According to Rob Reiner, nobody said anything until Rob Reiner said, "Are you okay, Andre?" To which Andre said, "I am now, boss."
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hey, Jeff, you have to see that Andre the Giant documentary.
Yeah, now I don't have HBO at the moment. I gotta have to get to it. And finally, poor Frankie Muniz apparently says his cat turned a faucet on in his home and flooded his entire home.
Oh my God.
Is that the guy from Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I quote, "I know it sounds ridiculous, but I swear it's true. No, I can find it."
Frankie Muniz, wasn't he in Agent Cody Banks too?
Yes, same guy.
Okay.
And he looks the same, which means, like, it's not like Fred Savage from the Deadpool trailer. Fred Savage actually, like, got, like, a manly kind of face. This guy, he still looks like Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, he's like 30.
Yeah, he still looks like, Agent Cody Banks.
A little bit. I'm kind of surprised he really never I think he produces a lot of stuff now, but I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. He's currently hosting Dancing with the Stars Junior. I didn't realize that.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, that's a thing. Apparently, he returned home from his house. Wait, here's the craziest part. Okay, this is from his Twitter. I arrived home from my uncle's funeral to find 4 of my 5-story brownstone home under 3 feet of water. Everything I own is destroyed. Every wall, piece of artwork, personal photos, furniture, all because my cat accidentally turned on the sink a few days ago while we were gone.
Wow. You left your cat alone for 2 or 3 days?
That's a good question.
Well, I guess you can have, like, those automatic food dispensers for animals now.
You're a cat owner, I'm a cat owner. And if you got the automatic food dispensers going, and if you got everything out of the way where the sink would be, then the cat wouldn't have any business going where the sink is at. Unless, of course, your cat's a sink jumper, which there are such, there are some animals where they go ahead and they sleep in the sinks or they'll sleep in the...
Give me any more information on this other than there's a couple things from his Twitter about, I'm devastated and exhausted from a tough week with the loss of my Uncle Skip. 45 hours of travel, and from France to walk into this disaster. I cried more yesterday and today than my whole life. Forgive me for venting, I just need some support. Thank God he has some sexy hot girlfriend, of course, to get through this. And he's like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I swear it's true. You wouldn't believe the destruction. No, I kind of do. Cats are dicks.
Cats are what?
Cats are dicks.
Kind of dicks.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they are.
Sometimes they have their moments. I mean, they do things the way they feel like doing the shit.
Well, and apparently, hey, I want a pond.
Hey, there's no more water in my dish. I'll open up the fucking faucet.
Yeah.
Take that, you bitch.
Yeah, never mind. I don't know how to turn it back off. Okay.
For those views out there who've woken up to your cat's butt in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, well, alright, that's I feel like every time I think we can't get farther away from the crazy of what could be out there in terms of the wacky stuff, it just gets wackier.
Yeah. The world's going to hell in a handbasket, but you know what? It's great material for the show.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we're laughing as the world burns.
Yeah.
Or really floods in this case.
Well, I mean, Neurowatch did all burn too, thousands of years ago, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's no sex robots, but it'll work. Yeah. Now there's a whole okay.
So just automated car.
Wait. So now the sex robot will be the car. Oh boy, this is not going to be good.
Put it this way: the car will transform into a sex robot.
There we go.
Will transform into the car.
There we go.
There's genius in that.
Hold on. Transformers 4.
It's a good thing Michael Bay is no longer part of the franchise.
Oh, he would have made the car Transformers into sex bots. Yeah.
He has some experience with directing with the Victoria's Secret models and.
Well, isn't there the one scene in what Transformers movie is the one scene where one of the Transformers is the hot, sexy girl that?
Yeah, it was in Revenge of the Fallen. One of them was the Pretender, where it was a Decepticon in like the form of a.
That girl was hot.
Yeah, she was pretty cute in that.
No, she wanted.
And then she does the huge tongue sticks out and kind of strangles him.
That's what I remember. The only thing I remember from that movie is what's his name singing there going, one man alone.
Yeah, Agent Simmons, right? John Turturro, yeah.
Yeah, why are you saying that? I'm right here.
So now, like Mark Wahlberg, oh my God, the sex robot, it's a car now. Oh my God, Optimus, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well. I don't know. Ask John Cena. He's in the next movie.
Yeah. Well, I have high hopes for a movie. So.
Just don't put the Bellas in it because he's not interested. There you go. You're pulled into the Bella twins, and that's how that all works. I don't know.
I'm built for comfort and not for speed.
Yo. Wow. So what kind of? So okay, they're the sex bots. What cars do they turn in? No, this is entirely different.
I've got him going down.
We will be here for another 20 minutes if we discuss this.
Yeah, I think we're 2.5 hours here, so
we
let's
have gone too far.
Yeah. Jeff has gone too far. Extreme.
Not
Oh no, not again.
I didn't do it this time. It was Ivan.
Okay, well,
I am to be faulted. Yes.
So happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mike and Jeff.
Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen.
All right.
So Mike, if people want to hear our show, where can they hear our show? Where can they find us? Where can they do all those things so if they want to know more about sex robots?
Where can they hear us in the radios of those autonomous cars?
Yes.
Yeah.
More for all your dart fart news needs.
Yes.
And news regarding the General Mills Serial Monster Cinematic Universe. You can check us out on Facebook. That's where we're most active. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at SOTRT Podcast. Send us an email if you like. It's SOTRTpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, thank you for listening on PodBean. We are also on YouTube. And YouTube, if you're on YouTube, click that little bell. We appreciate it. Thank you. Subscribe. So one last thing before we go, guys. I want your picks for the Thanksgiving Day football matches. Okay, Jeff, Bears and Lions. Who do you got?
Boy, I heard Trubisky is hurt, but I think the Bears will pull it out.
Okay, Ivan, Bears and
Bears
Lions.
by 7. Bears by 7.
Okay, well, I'm not doing points. We're just doing a win-loss.
Okay, Bears.
Okay, Ivan. I'll say Lions just because I'm pessimistic. All right, Redskins and Cowboys. Jeff.
Do we have to watch that game? That's gonna be a bad. I'll tell you right now, that's gonna be a rough game because
not as rough as the third one.
What's his name? Alex Smith's out for the season, so now.
Man, broken. Oh my God.
Broken. Yeah, and ironically, the same day as Joe Theismann with almost the exact same injury 33 years ago.
Yeah, that's freaky, man.
I think it'll probably be the Cowboys because of the fact that the Redskins are going to be playing with Colt McCoy and their backup is Mark Sanchez, aka the Dirty Sanchez, and he just signed the other day.
Okay, so, Ivan, Redskins or Cowboys?
Might have to throw my lot into the Cowboys.
Okay, I'll say Cowboys as well.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that it's funny, the Redskins have a better record, but they just lost their starting quarterback. That's
okay. And lastly, Falcons versus Saints. Jeff.
Oh, the Saints have been on a roll. And it's at home. Yeah.
Oh, the Saints are playing at New Orleans?
The Saints are at home against the Falcons.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right, Ivan?
Home turf advantage, I would have to say. The Falcons.
Oh, Ivan says Falcons?
They're on the road, Ivan. Falcons are on the road.
Oh, okay.
Well, right. You can't change your answer. Ivan says Falcons.
I say Falcons.
Okay.
I got to go with the Saints. It's a safe bet.
Okay.
So, okay. Check our scores next week.
Yeah,
but until then, we appreciate y'all for listening and happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels and be careful out there on the roads when you're traveling over the river and through the woods and all that stuff. We appreciate you listening. And we'll catch you next time here on Squares the Roundtable Podcast for Jeff.
Yeah. And Ivan.
Oh, yeah, and Ivan too.
Everybody have a good one. Take care.